Hello friends, welcome to my channel Learning Electronics. In this lecture, we are going to study working and output waveforms of Chuk converter. In the previous class, we have studied the need of Chuk converter and we had also seen the difference between Chuk converter and buck boost converter. So if you want to see that video, you can check it in the channel playlist. So before starting this video, please subscribe my channel and also press the bell icon so that you can get more updated videos from here. Now let us see some important features of Chuk converters which we have already discussed in the previous class. Again, we are going to see that features. Chuk converter is a DC to DC converter that has output voltage magnitude either greater than or less than input voltage magnitude or equal to the input voltage. In the Chuk converter, output voltage is of opposite polarity with respect to input voltage, similar to buck boost converter. So these two features are similar to buck boost converter here. The circuit diagram of Chuk converter consists of input voltage source Vs, which is DC voltage source, then control switch S, which is implemented by IGBT, then load resistance R, then it consists of input inductor L1, energy transfer capacitor C1, filter inductor L2 and filter capacitor C2. The need of these components we have already discussed in the previous class. An important advantage of this topology is continuous current at both the input and output of the converter. In the Chuk converter, there is an inductor at the input side which acts as filter for the input DC supply and it reduces the harmonic content. Disadvantage of Chuk converter include a high number of reactive components as you can see from the circuit diagram and high current stresses on the switch, diode and the capacitor C1. Now we will discuss the working of the Chuk converter. During the on period of the switch, this on period goes from time t is equal to 0 to time t is equal to dt, where d is the duty ratio and t is the total switching period or total time period. Dt will be equal to on period of the switch. So during the on period of the switch, what happens? This switch S goes into the on condition. Initially we assume that this capacitor C1 has charged with some constant voltage equal to output voltage V0. So initially this capacitor is already charged and after charging this capacitor, when we switch on this switch S, then it will act as closed switch as you can see from this circuit diagram. As soon as this switch S goes into the on condition, this inductor L1 starts storing the energy with polarity plus on this point and minus on this point. Now as soon as this switch S goes into the on condition, this capacitor C1 starts releasing its energy and it gives its energy to this inductor L2 and this capacitor C2 with polarity plus on this lower point and minus on this upper point. So the inductor voltage polarity will be plus on this point and minus on this point. Now if we apply KCL at this node, we will get capacitor 2 current will be equal to the inductor 2 current IL2 minus load current I0. Here we assume that the load current is continuous and ripple free. So when we subtract this load current from this inductor 2 current, we will get the IC2 current waveform, and from this circuit diagram what we can see, this capacitor 1 current will be equal to inductor 2 current during the on period of the switch. And as soon as this switch S goes into the on condition, this diode D goes into the off condition. Now we will see the output waveforms during the on period of the switch. During the on period of the switch, as the switch S goes into the on condition, ideally the voltage across the switch S Vt will be equal to 0, and in this on period of the switch, the inductor L1 starts storing the energy. So the current through the inductor L1 will increase from IL1 minimum to IL1 maximum during on period of the switch, and this inductor L2 is also storing the energy by taking the energy from the capacitor C1. So the inductor L2 current will also increase from IL2 minimum to IL2 maximum during the on period of the switch. Now we have discussed that this IC2 current will be equal to inductor 2 current IL2 minus load current I0. I0 is continuous and ripple free. So when we subtract this constant value from this IL2 waveform, then we will get this type of waveform when this load current is subtracted from this IL2 current. So this constant value will be deleted from here. So this waveform will shift on the x-axis. So this type of waveform we will get for the IC2 current. The current through the capacitor 1 current is equal to the inductor 2 current IL2. So same waveform of the IC1 current will come as we are drawing for the IL2 current here. Okay. Next waveform is capacitor 2 voltage. During the on period of the switch, this capacitor 2 is charging. So when the capacitor voltage reaches its maximum value, the capacitor 2 current equal to 0, as we have discussed in the previous classes also. Next is during the off period of the switch, which goes from time t is equal to dt to time t is equal to capital T. So during the off period of the switch, what happens? This switch as goes into the off condition and it will act as open circuit, as you can see in this circuit diagram. Now due to the energy stored in this inductor, what happens? This diode D goes into the on condition and starts conducting the current. So this is the circuit diagram during the off period of the switch. Now the inductor already stored the energy, it starts releasing its energy and it will give the energy to the capacitor C2. Okay, but the polarity of the inductor voltage is plus on this point and minus on this point. Now the capacitor will charge with opposite polarity, so the waveform will come in the downward direction. So here you can see capacitor 1 current IC1 is equal to minus of IL1 current. So the waveform will invert itself with respect to the inductor 1 current waveform in the off period of the switch. So during the off period of the switch, inductor L1 and L2 both are releasing its energy. This L2 is giving its energy to capacitor C2 and this L1 is giving its energy to capacitor C1 in the off period of the switch. Now we will see the output waveforms during the off period of the switch. So during the off period of the switch, the voltage across the switch will be equal to Vs minus L L1 by dt. So if we apply KVL in this circuit, we will get voltage across the switch S will be equal to Vs minus L1 DIL by dt. And during the off period of the switch, both this inductor L1 and L2 are releasing its energy. So current through the inductor will decrease from maximum value to minimum value. Next is the waveform of the capacitor 2 current. Capacitor 2 current waveform will be equal to IL2 minus I0 only. That means the waveform of the IL2 current will be shifted to the x-axis here. So same waveform will be here. The capacitor 1 current is equal to minus of IL1 current. So this waveform of IL1 current will be shifted downwards. That means it will be shifted to the negative axis. Here this type of waveform we will get if we shift this in the downward direction. Okay. Now what happens? This capacitor C2 is charging with opposite polarity. That means the capacitor waveform will be shifted to the downward direction. So same waveform we are getting, but it is in the downward direction because the capacitor C2 is charging with opposite polarity during the off period of the switch. So hope you have understood the working of this Chuk converter. In the next class we are going to see the analysis of the Chuk converter, that is all the derivations related to Chuk converter. So hope you have understood the topic. Thank you very much for watching and please do subscribe my channel for more updates.